Thank you everyone for joining us. We have Mr. Rushin Patel today, who is Associate Director CSR at CMS Infosystems Ltd. Welcome to the show, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really liked the definition, how you have defined CSR in one of our previous conversations. So let's just begin from there, as in, what do you think CSR is, CSR means to you, or in general, we should think, when we think of CSR, this is what, one should, it should come into our mind.
Thank you, Bhagyashree, for inviting me for this podcast. It is a really nice initiative. Let me, spend a couple of seconds for this because a lot of people write on social media, on different platforms, talk about social work in a lot of forums and all. But a lot of things remain uncaptured at times. This is a right medium, one of the innovative mediums that I'm experiencing now for spreading a real meaning of CSR and developmental sector. Yeah, answering to your question now. To me, CSR is not just a CSR, it's a passion. To me, CSR is commitment. To me, CSR is goal of life. Now let me contextualize CSR. CSR is not about corporate social responsibility. It
Absolutely.
is the name which has given to the area of work. See, we are very clear and defined country where development means a lot. So CSR means development. CSR means support. CSR means holding somebody's hand to uplift. CSR means facilitating something on a right channel. CSR means investment, not a spend. So there are a lot of meanings, but I would restrict myself here to have a meaningful conversation around this context. Because if I define a lot of things, things will be diluted. To not to dilute, but concentrating on a focused way where we really understand what exactly is the goal. So CSR is always a goal driven activity. It should be contextualizing that in a national and international level. Earlier we had millennium development goals. It has benchmarked to sustainable development goals, and that's how Indian government has also planned a lot of programs, schemes, mediums of reaching out people through various programs and projects. We are part of it. We should feel proud on that.
Yeah.
We are investing any money which contributes to national development should be the goal. One should complement with SDGs, but it is at international level. But complying with the rule in India should be in synergy with the national priorities.
Correct.
And generally, I have observed that majority of the CSRs are practicing in that line only. Standard protocols are support in education, health, community infrastructure, sustainable livelihood, which covers youth empowerment, youth skilling, youth counseling and career, then women empowerment, livelihood programs, climate resilient program, agriculture and around things. One innovation recently is booming is waste management
Hmm.
and climate is very important because nowadays we are now experiencing that how the climate change is affecting our life through seasons, through crop patterns, and through adverse impact on overall climate, water, air, and soil. So climate is very innovative, new, and demanding also. People have started working on that also. But as a professional, I would here again share that putting efforts is very important, but putting efforts in a right channel with a right direction with a purposeful goals are very crucial. So there is a difference between importance and crucial, which I
Yeah.
want to focus here. People are doing a lot of things in waste management, e-waste management, plastic waste management, soil erosion, and saving soils, and conserving fertility and all. I'm pausing here and putting one point. Let us be selfish around all these things. Why are we
Hmm.
doing all these things? It
Yeah,
is not for nature, it is for us,
true.
it is for our survival, it is for our existence. So through this platform I would like to convey a very clear message that let's be selfish, let us do purposeful and goal oriented work for our survival.
Makes sense.
If we survive, coexistence will happen, ecosystem will develop, and definitely let live and let us live. Very simple formula. So water conservation we are doing not for nature but for us, that we get enough water to drink, enough water to use domestic, at domestic level, enough water for agriculture and allied businesses, enough water for industry. So with that example, I'm coming to waste management. A lot of people are putting a lot of stress on plastic waste
Hmm.
recycling and all, and a lot of efforts are implemented also. But still, if we compare, in line with consumption and recycling is very negligible,
Hmm.
really negligible. So we can't remove plastic from our life, so let us manage it. I think CSR should focus on that. So what we are doing in one of our program, we are focusing more on women entrepreneurship
Mm-hmm.
aligned with slowing down usage of plastic. I'm
Hmm.
purposefully using slowing down. So we are planning to train women in that town where women will manufacture cloth bags,
Hmm.
and there would be a scheme that give your old clothes and take a new cloth bag. It would be in proportion, so free of cost when customer is getting, the psychology,
Hmm.
and the stitching and center running cost will be given from the CSR.
Okay.
So women will earn, customer will get free, or on in exchange of waste clothes, that cloth bag, and whenever they go for shopping they'll carry their bags, so automatically up to
Mm-hmm.
some extent one single use plastic will be reduced. This is the pilot we are planning. If we succeed we'll replicate the same at a scale also, but very innovative things. So goal, in short, the meaning of saying or putting this example is put efforts in innovative way where goals are achieved.
Hmm.
Not criticizing any system, but a lot of systems are just circulating a circular that single use plastic is banned. If we find single use plastic we'll punish you, but give options. And here CSR can play a very crucial role while providing options, while investing the money purposefully and giving solutions to the cause. And that's
True.
how we save lot of pollution related issues.
Understood.
So that's how I'm putting CSR into context.
Hmm. No, that makes sense. तो अगर हम CSR की बात करें and we are saying that जो impact है it should be purposeful and it should have some goal that at the end of the so and so years we'll be able to achieve so much, right? So how do we dig deep into saying that this is the project or this is the intervention or this is the model that is going to work and work in such a way that it is a replicable model and also a sustainable model where उनको community को हमारी बार बार support की जरूरत ना हो. We empower them in such a way where even if we withdraw, the work keeps on going. It should not get hampered.
There are three questions in your narration. I would answer one by one.
Hmm.
First is all about planning.
Hmm.
See, the established CSR, we all are very much aware that since 2014-15 the law has come up. Before that also a lot of philanthropic work, a lot of social work, a lot of PR related work, public relation related work, and a lot of enthusiastic corporates to create goodwill. They used to do a lot of things. Even manufacturing units were practicing around their plants. They were adapting villages. They were adapting thematic areas like adoption of a child or adapting a core areas or a school. There were a lot of things. But since the formalization of the efforts are channelized from government, corporates are also benchmarking the same. I'm putting categorically on
Hmm.
this. Few corporates still believe that it's a spend, so
Hmm.
let us spend. So they just check the similar industry around and put their investment in a similar project. But I would here like to put a point that go by needs is very important. Go by needs. So need assessment is very crucial. Again, I'm telling that if you have limited resources, don't no issues. Need assessment will not ask for a lot of money. Go by government data. For example, in 2019, government of India has come up with very clear cut research based grading of districts.
Hmm.
We call aspirational districts
Yeah.
program, where
Correct.
you have all materials available over websites,
Hmm.
on government portals, websites, state websites, where whichever core area you are working in synergy with your board or a guidance of your CSR committee of the company, align that core area, identify that geography near your either manufacturing unit or a service industry or a interest area of geography, and start planning in a way where you put expert resources into that.
And it is
There are
available in all on all the government websites, state government websites.
if you'll go to if you'll just Google it, that
Hmm.
list of aspirational district, you'll
Yeah.
get details.
Hmm.
The same list of aspirational list, you get a lot of annual reports also on website, that which district is performing where, which district is putting more efforts in which core area, which are the
Hmm.
still areas to work, and all
Hmm.
these things government is
Hmm.
putting everything on portal very
Hmm.
transparently.
Okay.
So we can, since we started, we are talking about national priorities.
Hmm.
See, this CSR is all about putting your efforts for developing your nation.
Hmm.
So it can be in education field, it can be in health field, it can be in any field, right?
Hmm.
So align your core areas with the national priorities in that geography and start working on it. And expert resource, in a way, there are two to three ways of putting expert resource. If you have your corporate foundation, put your own team. If you don't have corporate foundation, then put the relevant NGOs after proper due diligence and reference check as a resource person or implementing partner in that geography. Or third, observe in the industry where other industries are practicing and they have corporate organizations, and if they are open for collaboration and co-funding, go for partnerships. At present, the biggest challenge in corporate is coexistence and partnership and collaborations. Why I'm putting all these points? Because your last question is all about sustainability.
Yeah.
So once you are putting your resource, it doesn't end there. It just starts. It's like purchasing a car. Your project is like a car. When you purchase, it's a program. But when you need that car on roads, you require its maintenance and fuel.
True.
And maintenance and fuel, when you arrange it, your car is
Hmm.
sustainable, right? Otherwise, it's just a showpiece. So maintenance and your recurring cost should be considered in your mind hypothetically at times, but at the time of planning or at the initial stage of your project.
Hmm.
Otherwise, your investment will just land with numbers, not impact. It would be output or outcome. That's it. And just now, in trending way, if we consider in our CSR, theory of change is most practiced, version, where every
Yeah.
corporate, consider in that what was the input, what was the process, what is outcome, what is output, then impact, and then ROI and SROI comes. So Generally, we become happy with our inputs. But I still urge that let us not be happy with only inputs. Think of future plans, think of sustainability, and for that, a lot of organizations are doing fantastic job in a way. So put your expert resources into practice. Then and then things will come. Again, I'm going back to the same discussion that planning after needs assessment, planning is very important. As a professional, I feel don't go for a lot of activities. Activities are, means to achieve the goal, but
Hmm.
if you combine a lot of things all together, you will not achieve the goals, right? So in a way, be focused, be goal oriented, define the process, and start putting attempts. In attempts also, it's like a tree.
Hmm.
In putting attempts also, you know in this discussion, I remind a first formal definition of social work, which was given by Mary Richmond in 1922, more than 100 years ago, that map the resources available, find out the way to use it, and fetch the resources which are not there but required.
Hmm.
Not there but required is very
Required.
important.
Very.
So,
I think
you
that's
know,
where CSR or the help of
yes.
funders comes in.
Yes. That's the point actually.
Hmm.
So resource mapping is very important at the time of project. So which are
Hmm.
the resources available, how we are going to use it, and which are the resources we need to put in. So this is CSR in a simple way. Because a lot of corporates, I'm seeing that they have formal teams, but there are, corporates which I have seen below 10 crores or below 8 crores budget, they don't have specialized people there. They are
Hmm.
clubbing or giving charge of CSR activities to aligned departments like HR, admin, industrial relation, or similar things, welfare. So they identify potential resources, but this methodology skips somewhere the steps of resource mapping. And because of that, project happens, but it
Hmm.
ends with only report and numbers. Things will not move further.
Correct.
So for sustainability, second point after needs assessment is resource mapping. And third one is timeline. See, nothing will happen like a miracle, and nothing will happen overnight also. Each project has its own gravity, each project has its own, process of implementation. You can't feed everything in a day. So define the goals with a process and timeline, that how much time you require to achieve this goal is very important.
Hmm.
So let's not become impatient. At times it happens that people feel, oh, we are doing so much of things, why results are not visible. At times education and health like projects are not number oriented in
True.
terms of goal, but it's a
Hmm.
process oriented, irrespective of preventive healthcare or curative healthcare, irrespective of foundational numeracy literacy or STEM education or any education methodology, self learning or choice based learning or anything. It is a process oriented. So define the indicators of outcome
Hmm.
when you are designing this type of projects, and these all things should be at macro level, but considering the micro planning. At times, you'll find that there is a gap between macro and micro level, understanding. So after defining the process, team will struggle how to
Hmm.
achieve this, how to achieve this. So be practical, be fair to the process, and then define. At times, you will get surprises by getting good results. Enjoy,
Hmm.
celebrate, but define the process in a way where you be practical on ground. But practicality doesn't mean that linear process. It should be robust process, slightly tough process, because time will not wait for anything. So competitiveness is also very important into that. So
Hmm.
that is my third point. Fourth point is monitoring process. If you have decided that we want to achieve XYZ goals, you define the process also. But if you don't decide the monitoring process of that implementation flow, you will end up with some rational and some low weightage results. because
बट व्हाट इफ ड्यूरिंग द प्रोजेक्ट वी रियलाइज कि दी जो हमने इम्पैक्ट नंबर्स या जो गोल हमने सोचा था वी विल बी एबल टू अचीव, बट इन मिडल ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट वी रियलाइज, like you also shared couple of examples in our previous conversation, in middle of the project you realize कि ये process काम नहीं कर रहा है, ये process change करना पड़ेगा. So do you think we are flexible enough in terms of कि वो process हम mid project में हम change कर सकते हैं, या फिर कुछ और स्ट्रेटेजी हम उसमें ऐड ऑन कर सकते हैं? व्हाट डू यू सजेस्ट?
I would put here two words. One is course correction, and second is process benchmarking.
हम्म.
See, when you define the flow and when you are monitoring on a constant after an interval like a monthly or a fortnightly or quarterly, when you realize that the timeline which we have decided at the time of planning is not practical in terms
हम्म.
of maybe extended timeline is decided and we are not able to achieve the goal. So
ओके.
do course correction, and if you feel that yes it is achievable but we can do more than this, more than defined process into the project, then benchmark the process.
हम्म.
So both the options should be there. Otherwise, if you will remain in cloud and not putting your feet on ground, things will not happen in a way. It will just become a document.
या.
For example, let me put one example of women empowerment. Very common and very required, and it's a highlighted core area also after the skilling, because women empowerment has multifold.
हम्म.
Generally, people feel that women empowerment will let them earn money. Yeah, that is one of the component, but real empowerment comes when your beneficiary becomes your decision maker.
हम्म.
And decision maker is also like a tree where for her own self, for her own needs at family level, at societal level, for her own future, for her kids' future, or for her family's future, any level. It
हम्म.
varies community to community and geography to geography. So here, if we have decided at the initial that yes, I have identified aspirational district, I'm going by ODOP, one district, one product. I have done my needs assessment from government data. I've decided project that we'll train 100 women into 1 to 3 products in a course of 3 months or 6 months. Then we'll handhold them for another 3 months, and then if they secure that 4 to 5 thousand earning is meeting their needs, we will little step back from the regular things and we handhold indirectly. Fair process, everybody will accept this, very clear. But when you enter into field, when you started mobilizing, when you talk to people, when you understand their needs, their timelines, their available time for the training, available time for the product, raw material, inventory, and all such things, and you review after a month and realize that, oh, 3 months are not enough for this because of social dynamics. Women has to do their domestic work also. Women has to understand the societal norms also, like so a lot of such insights needs to be come into picture. And after a month you realize that, oh, the process we defined is 3 months, but mobilization itself is taking 1.5 months, and then also we are not able to achieve desired number. So at that time, with proper process, you'll have to benchmark your process also, that what all needs assessment tools you need to use, like FGDs, or talking to village leaders,
हम्म.
or talking to family heads, or you have to change somewhere at micro level to meet your macro level goals. So that's how it's like a complementing macro level and micro level process in developmental sector is very important. Otherwise, you will just land up with the number which you train but not engage into your 4,000, 5,000 dream. Women will say, आज नहीं, थोड़े दिनों बाद करेंगे काम.
हम्म.
अरे वो
हम्म.
ग्रुप में नहीं, मुझे अकेले को करना है. मेरा एसएचजी का लोन अभी क्लियर नहीं हुआ तो मुझे दूसरा लोन नहीं मिलेगा. अरे
हम्म.
पीएम विश्वकर्मा के लिए मेरा एलिजिबिलिटी नहीं बनता. You will end up rationalizing the things. And believe me, every corporate on a genuine mode feels that if we are spending or investing money, it should have result, but somewhere it gets diluted into these processes.
mm,
And when you are at the end of the process, you have to accept it. Once your investment is done, once your entire process is completed, then there is no way. So I, I'm putting this point again that process benchmarking and course correction both are very important during the project.
mm,
Though it can be a small project, it can be moderate, it can be bigger. In nutshell, be honest to the process.
mm,
Be honest to the process. Then your desired results will come. And again, I'm stretching on process benchmarking.
mm,
Don't just stop yourself when women are earning 4,000 rupees. During the process, evaluate that what is the total potential of that group. If that group is more potential, and if they are ready to benchmark their 4,000 to 10,000, handhold them, because it is their desire to earn more. So your
mm,
chances of sustainability is more because your stakeholder is owning the process. Your stakeholder is owning that, and that's what we want. Instead of pushing them, if they come in front and they decide that yes, we want to do this, nothing better than that to handhold them.
mm,
For sustainability, one thing is ownership, which I stressed upon. Second is resource. Earlier we spoke about resource mapping. Now I'm bringing resources. See, corporates have limited resources.
mm,
It can facilitate to training, grooming, and up to some extent initial investment. But still, sustainability is a question from where the money will come. Potential, most potential resource is government schemes.
mm,
In two ways. See, government has defined process of availing their schemes. So you are validating your beneficiary with government scheme, one thing. Second thing, after validation, if they are connected with credit or subsidized scheme or direct benefits, ultimately it acts as a corpus money for initial investment. And if it is a credit, then women will have to think twice before entering into credit because they'll have to repay also. So very important portion of ownership is repayment of credit.
mm,
It may be a subsidy up to some extent, like 70/30, 80/20. There are a lot of schemes continuing the same example, but repayment is also important. So they'll have to calculate that how much production they'll make, how much sale will happen, how much money they will earn, and how much money they will repay also. So ownership is very important at initial stage with this liability. I'm putting liability as a word here. So that is the thing. Second thing, if it is like MSME or Pradhan Mantri skill related any ODOP benefits,
mm,
then government itself will curate the product. Government itself will have mechanism to validate the entire process. So
mm,
I would focus here that instead of reinventing the wheel, we should also think to adapt the similar methodology to empower the entire process and align them, because your CSR program will end because it has start date definitely comes with end date. But government schemes, once it is availed, once it has provided hand holding support, definitely that empowered women will scale it up, repay the money, and own her own business. And we
mm,
can see a lot of such cases. If you open any annual report of organized corporate CSR, you will find definitely few successful entrepreneurs they have listed it. So illustrating that, third point of sustainability is collaboration.
yeah,
Very important. You
mm,
know, let me be slightly open here. CSRs have something in I don't know where, but something in mind that we are doing better than others. I still urge, let us leave this. Let us have collaborative approach. If I am doing some skill development work and if my neighboring company is doing skill development work, let us collaborate. Collaboration will give lot of learning, scale, and adaptability.
Hmm.
Otherwise, what beneficiary will do? He or she will take benefit of yours also. He or she will take benefit of others also.
Hmm.
So where are we putting our money? I'm putting that questions to all the audience.
Yeah.
Let us be collaborative. Let us create win-win situation. See, being a Gujarati, I learned a lot of sayings. I'm just reminding one saying that, in some communities, there are people who pulls your leg.
Hmm.
And there are some communities where people pulls your hands. Which is better?
Pull your
Pulling your
hand.
leg is better or pulling your hand is better? Of course,
Pulling your
everybody
hands.
feels pulling your hands. And pulling your hands make your society progressive.
Hmm.
Pulling your legs take you to 18th century.
True.
So that's how let us adopt a collaborative approach.
Hmm.
Not only with two corporates, I'm talking about two NGOs also can collaborate for a
Yeah,
common thing.
absolutely. True.
In mid of my career in 2016 to 18, I used to participate in lot of this conclaves and forums. I slowed down just now because I feel that no, this is not a forum for me now because that forums have become earlier the idea was to collaborate
Hmm.
when this era of social mingling started in CSR front.
Hmm.
Lot of very few forums were there who were really inviting proposals, inviting projects for appreciation, inviting professionals for appreciation and all these things. But nowadays it got mushroomed everywhere. Every third day even I get an email that this is the forum where you nominate your project, you nominate yourself and all these things. Earlier the concept was collaboration where
Hmm.
corporate meets NGO, corporate meet corporate, corporate meets voluntary organization, NGO meet NGO, and that's how exchange of ideas were happening. Panel discussions were purposefully designed to address few of the trending topics,
Hmm.
share your opinions, have interaction, have FAQs with participants and all. But gradually it has gone to only fund mobilization or fundraising activity for NGOs where they want to meet CSR, they want to have their cards and want to have projects. Believe me, projects is very dangerous word which has start date and end date. People start the program, act as per the budget and project line items, give numbers, close the program.
True.
This is how development will not happen. Development will happen with sustainability, where three, four indicators I'm putting with my experience, there may be more. Ownership of your stakeholder is very important. Second, need based intervention should have enough resources after your intervention also to sustain that program. It can be money, it can be asset, it can be expertise, it can be connections. Right. Third, your indirect support should empower people to shoulder the responsibility of entire process.
Hmm.
Because what will happen when you are implementing the program, you putting your efforts. For that you are trained academically, you are trained to have this type of process, but your stakeholder is not formally trained. But
Hmm.
in a way, during the process, you'll have to create that synergy where after your exit, your stakeholder become the owner of the program, shoulder the responsibility and drive it. So these three, four things are very important, along with conscious awareness on the goals.
Yeah, but then don't you think the project start date and end date should not become, because अभी तो ऐसा है कि एक जब भी हम कोई प्रोजेक्ट शुरू करते हैं it has a start date and it has to be, there has to be an end date. बट अगर हम इम्पैक्ट की बात करते हैं तो इम्पैक्ट इज वेरी सब्जेक्टिव, राइट? डिपेंडिंग ऑन कम्युनिटी, कौन सा प्रोजेक्ट है, किसके साथ कर रहे हैं, थीमेटिक्स क्या है, बेनिफिशियरीज हाउ ओपन दे आर. तो उसमें फिर हम स्टार्ट डेट और एंड डेट अगर हम नहीं लगाते हैं तो भी एक कंसर्न है, और एक लगा देते हैं तो भी एक कंसर्न है।
सी, स्टार्ट डेट और एंड डेट लगाना ही चाहिए. आर
हम्म।
वी philanthropist? Now we are in era of professional social work,
हम्म।
right? Professional social work means what? आपको एक ट्रेनिंग दी गई है कि आप क्या करोगे, कैसे करोगे, कहाँ होगा. लॉट ऑफ क्वेश्चंस एंड व्हाई इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट in all the processes.
या।
So end date should be there, but
हम्म।
with that process, with that end date in mind, you have to make your stakeholder empowered enough.
हम्म।
कॉर्पोरेट कब तक पैसा इन्वेस्ट करते रहेगा? 2 साल, 3 साल, 5 साल. बहुत ही हम्बल, बहुत ही जेन्युइन और बहुत ही रहेगा ना कॉर्पोरेट की, नहीं मुझे करना ही है, तो 2 4 साल और. बट वो इन्वेस्टमेंट वर्थ तभी होगा जब आपका स्टेक होल्डर उसको ओन करेगा, और वो
हम्म।
वो गाड़ी आगे चलेगी. वरना
हम्म।
क्या होगा? आप जब तक हो तब तक चल रहा है. तो एंड इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, पर
हम्म।
दैट डजंट मीन कि इम्पैक्ट इज नॉट इम्पॉर्टेंट. आप इम्पैक्ट भी निकालो. और वेरी राइट पॉइंट यू रेज्ड. हाउ आर वी असेसिंग द इम्पैक्ट? I have done the project. I am hiring the third party. I am giving the secondary details. I am asking them to have indicators and I am curating the report. Audience is understanding everything.
या।
How the impact will come? You
हम्म।
know, through this podcast, I would like to put a point also here. Very, very important point when we are starting our discussion with national priorities. Why are these efforts are not calculated in any district level or state level
एग्जैक्टली।
data?
हम्म।
For example, a lot of big corporates are running mobile health win, very noble cause. A lot of corporates are working for women and child nutrition and anemia prevention program, very noble cause.
हम्म।
But let us look at our own program. Are these data captured in government record? Then how are we telling that we are contributing to national development?
हम्म।
Right? For national development, health index, education index, livelihood index, everything is important. We are fourth largest economy in the world, but what is the GDP? We should take responsibility to contribute for GDP improvement,
हम्म।
to climate protection program, to improve education. See, routine education is already there through government efforts, through trust schools and other forums. What is our role? I believe don't enter into routine education, enter into value addition to the education. If you do value addition, it will add charm to the education.
हम्म।
For example, for another way, health, basic health care. Agreed, where there are no resources, we should put resources. But in a way where you collaborate with government, let's have some portion from government also. Yes, it
हम्म।
is tough. And that's why a lot of corporates are not expecting convergence as a word in their project. They are putting their efforts, creating the impact, and putting in a different forums and records that we have
हम्म।
done this thing. But that is also acceptable. But is it replicable? If yes, has it been replicated? Ask these questions. Then and then we are on right track and we are putting our money into right pocket. A lot of corporates are aggressively working in agriculture field also.
हम्म।
Everything can be manufactured in factories but not food.
करेक्ट।
The grain should come from agriculture, so
हम्म।
annadata is very important in entire process. And I still feel, yes, majority work should happen in that front also. But has it get registered in government records?
हम्म।
So to conclude this point, it is very important to have synergy. And I put a point to big corporates and government stakeholders also, that can we come up with some solutions where this data gets synchronized?
या, एक्चुअली बिकॉज वी सी कि गवर्नमेंट का अपना एक पोर्टल है वेर वी सी कि ओके पॉपुलेशन ये है, दिस इज सो मच इज अनएम्प्लॉयड, बट देन ऐसा कोई भी प्लेटफॉर्म नहीं है वेर वी कुड सी द इंटरवेंशन विच इज डन बाय CSR, philanthropists, foundations, and government altogether. If we are saying there are so many youths in the country who are unemployed, and then we as CSR, or we as social impact space, we are saying that we are generating so much of livelihood, where is this data? Now if I want to Google it, how many are unemployed, I'll still see the data which is
Government
there on
data.
the government portal. But हमारा impact जो हम कर रहे हैं सोशल सेक्टर में, वो कहाँ कहीं दिख ही नहीं रहा है.
See, my academic guru was used to tell me मेडिकल प्रोफेशनल्स के लिए कैसा एक फोरम बना हुआ है.
हम्म.
डू वी हैव फोरम, कॉमन फोरम आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट नेशनल
या.
लेवल.
हम्म.
हर मेडिकल प्रैक्टिशनर का एक रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर होता है. डू वी
हम्म.
हैव? लेट अस थिंक ऑन दिस.
हम्म.
देखो शुरुआत कैसे होगी, जो मुझे समझ आ रहा है, हम सीधा कहेंगे गवर्नमेंट में रिकॉर्ड हो ये हो तो बड़ा मुश्किल होगा, क्योंकि
हाँ.
बहुत सारे प्रोजेक्ट्स में क्या होगा कि आप जिस समुदाय को कैटर कर रहे हो उसी को सरकार कैटर कर रही है, तो डुप्लीकेशन ऑफ नंबर होगा. हाउ विल यू अवॉइड दैट, वो भी एक क्वेश्चन आएगा, स्पेशली इन हेल्थ एंड एजुकेशन वाले सेक्टर में. इवन क्लाइमेट के सेक्टर में भी आएगा. हमने कितने पौधे लगाए, सरकार ने कितने लगाए, कहाँ क्या हुआ, वो सब होगा. एक फोरम तैयार किया जाए, एक नेशनल लेवल का एक पोर्टल हो जहां पे हर कॉर्पोरेट अपना रिपोर्ट करे,
हम्म.
नॉट एज अ मैंडेट बट एज अ नो पैशन, कि
हम्म.
दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव डन. और फिर
करेक्ट.
एज अ फोरम वो चीज गवर्नमेंट के साथ बात की जाए कि दिस आर द नंबर्स विच आर गेटिंग जनरेटेड. आप देखो आज कॉर्पोरेट अफेयर्स की वेबसाइट पे आप देखोगे तो हर कंपनी का CSR का अमाउंट दिखता है.
हम्म. हम्म.
कुछ कुछ बड़े कॉर्पोरेट्स के नंबर्स भी दिखेंगे,
नंबर्स भी
हाइपर
दिखेगा.
लिंक होके या डायरेक्ट रिपोर्ट होके, बट सबके नहीं दिखेंगे.
हम्म.
पर अब सबको प्लेटफॉर्म भी नहीं मिलेगा. तो ऐसा कुछ पोर्टल हो जिससे एवरीबडी कैन पुट देयर नंबर्स इन सिनर्जी, एंड देन इफ वी टॉक कलेक्टिवली टू गवर्नमेंट, आई थिंक स्टेपिंग स्टोन यहाँ से शुरू होगा तो कहीं ना
हम्म.
कहीं कुछ रास्ता निकल के आएगा. लॉट ऑफ एक्सपर्टाइज इज अवेलेबल इन आवर सेक्टर. तो
हम्म.
शुरुआत करने की जरूरत है.
करेक्ट.
I'm telling you, in year 2015-16, when I was talking to a lot of this forum people informally over a cup of coffee, we used to talk on this. And as a professional, we were hopeful that such forums will come up with such portal which is common for everyone. But with a growing time and post-COVID, similar so many forums have happened, and everybody is doing separate things.
हम्म.
So that original, the objective gets diluted somewhere. And nowadays, with sustainability, CSR is benchmarking to ESG very soon.
हम्म.
Carbon credit, carbon credentials, carbon sequestration is coming into picture very aggressively. So if we don't have such, portal where you compile the data, things will never come into picture, and things will happen in pockets. We remain very happy with our own program, we remain very happy with our own circle, and we will be like a frog in a well. Welfare state, a big word for government. Welfare
हम्म.
state, which we are aiming in future, if cumulative efforts go in right direction with right channel, then and then things will happen. With no this single-handed government can't do, single-handed citizen can't do. It should go hand in hand. Then and then things will happen. So I would put open question for the listeners after this podcast, that give your thoughts in on this, that if we want to collate our data in interest of national growth, national
हम्म.
priorities, and
हम्म.
national level contribution, uh, for supporting our government to put our stand in international level, what can be the ways? One ways is give platform to each one
हम्म.
through a portal. It can be government portal, it can be separate portal, it can be a big corporate initiative also.
Hmm.
But the goal should be integration with government data.
Hmm.
Let's
True.
see how we can do course correction and course or process benchmarking. This is also a project. So how we can do course correction and benchmarking in days to come or months to
Hmm.
come or years to come, because ultimately things are happening at ESG level.
Yeah.
So environment comes first and globally, that is a fact. So definitely we should focus our efforts also into the same channel. And if we are succeed to do, I believe that we are the people or a generation who will say to next generation that this is the contribution that we have done.
Hmm.
Because individual level, cluster level, at a pockets or a surrounding of our manufacturing unit or identified villages, we are doing a lot of things. But let us collectively take pride of those works for national priorities and empower collectively that CSR is the approach which India has formalized, delivered one, two, three, four, five goals. Then and then it makes sense. Otherwise, in my corporate, I present that I complement this, SDGs, that SDGs. I work in these many aspirational districts. It is for only my committee and my board.
Hmm.
But for national development, what?
We'll have to go beyond that.
Yes. So my clear message to my fellow colleagues, listeners, government officials, stakeholders, and citizens, that let us join our hands, put our thoughts together, and have collective efforts for our nation building. We are also a stepping stone to our nation building. It's not a small effort. It's a huge pool of talent. It's a huge pool of talent which contributes to the country's development. So let us complement that and put our efforts in a common way, putting
Hmm.
slight, I'm doing the best, slightly aside and
The
join
MBA
hands.
MBA term that you have coined. Can you please tell us what is that?
It is in Gujarati actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can tell that. MBA means Mane Badhu Avde. I know everything. So let us put that degree aside, apart from regular MBA, which are expertise. But let us have a learning approach,
Hmm.
positive approach, collaborative approach, which leads everybody to a common goal.
True. सो जब हम कोलैबोरेटिव अप्रोच या फिर चेंज एट द ग्रास रूट या फील्ड जो ग्राउंड पे जो काम है उसके बारे में जब हम बात करते हैं एंड देयर आर सो मेनी डिस्कशंस एज यू सेड बहुत सारे फोरम्स बन गए हैं बहुत सारे समिट सेमिनार्स वर्कशॉप्स ये सब हो रहे हैं बट आई फील दैट the person who is at the ground and who know exact what is happening and what is going to work because वो daily उस community के साथ interact करता है they know कि challenges क्या है but I feel there is a gap where these people who are working on the ground, be it from CSR ends or from the implementation partners end, they are not being called at a round table or at any of these forums. Maybe they are not coming or there's I don't know. We could discuss that. Do you think that अगर हम उनको involve करना शुरू करें in these dialogues, we can see some changes or maybe we'll get some ideas, thoughts that could be implemented and it will be a better good for all of us.
See, Bhagyashree, I'll put it's a valid point, but I'll put in a different way, slightly different way.
Sure.
You know, in each corporate ground team,
Hmm.
who is on ground, it's a combination.
Yeah.
Local and vocal person can also be on ground.
Hmm.
Newly BSW, MSW, or rural development course pursuing, fresher is on ground.
Hmm.
Experienced but not techno savvy, not so vocal, not so conceptualized person is on ground, and similar category.
Hmm.
So what is the challenge? After our initial discussion, I thought upon this, and I came to one thought कि लोग उनको नहीं बुलाते, उसका कारण यह है कि they won't be able to put their point in a right way.
Yeah, that's true. That's what
One
we were
thing.
discussing. Yeah, correct.
Yes. And second thing, it's like a triangle. It's like a
Hmm.
pyramid. How many CSR heads are there?
Hmm.
Probably 2,000, 4,000, 5,000, or 10,000. But
Hmm.
how many grassroots people are there? Probably in lakhs. To whom you will call and to whom you will talk.
Hmm.
Right? That is the thing. But there are in management, there are two things. One is स्ट्रेटेजिस्ट जनरली क्या कहते हैं विच आई डिसएग्री कि मैक्रो लेवल के प्लानिंग ना माइक्रो लेवल को देख के नहीं किया जाता जनरली ऐसा कहीं कहीं जगह कुछ लोग कहते हैं विच आई
Hmm.
डिसएग्री कि यार
Hmm.
यू आर वर्किंग फॉर माइक्रो लेवल सो
Hmm.
अग्रीड एम्बिशन इनोवेशन बेंचमार्क स्ट्रेच टारगेट्स समथिंग न्यू एवरीथिंग इज एक्सेप्टेड बट कंसिडर द रियल नीड्स माइक्रो
Hmm.
लेवल नीड्स इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट सो सॉल्यूशन क्या होना चाहिए इसका सेकंड मैनेजमेंट की कहीं भी बात करके अटकना नहीं चाहिए उसका
Hmm.
सॉल्यूशन भी लाना चाहिए आई थिंक मेरे पास जो सॉल्यूशन है वो भी मैं बताऊंगा यहाँ पे पीपल कैन ऑल्सो पुट देयर थॉट्स ऑन योर क्वेश्चन इन कमेंट सेक्शन दैट वुड बी अ लर्निंग फॉर अस ऑल्सो मुझे लग रहा है कि हर कॉर्पोरेट में जहाँ पे जो काम हो रहा है वेयर you have already your CSR head and managers, project officers, and hierarchy. People should take responsibility to train your ground team.
Capacity building.
जनरली क्या होता है हम इवेल्युएट करते हैं ट्रेन नहीं करते हम जनरल अरे ये काम हुआ वो हुआ ये हुआ वो हुआ हम फॉर्मेट लेके उनको भेज देंगे सर्वे करो ये करो अग्रीड काम कराओ बट ट्रेन देम ऑल्सो दूसरा give them platforms I have seen in one of my previous assignments I have seen there was nobody who is masters in social work and be a bachelor in social work but then also with a dream of my company MD things were happening in a way where you can write case studies it was in Kutch you know very clear systematic and grassroots people were doing it local
Hmm.
people were doing it who may not write 2 pages also then also people used to do that so grooming is very important it does not require degree
Hmm.
so if slight change in our approach if we adopt instead of evaluation let us handhold and train I urge all my fellow listeners do it for 6 months you will find the change yes you will slightly unhappy with your expectation up to some extent but invest the 6 months for your team empower them
What kind of trainings, or just basic uh, trainings or sessions that you would suggest?
communication time management to start with
Hmm.
your presentable things and then technical things
Hmm.
like needs assessment then FGDs I know people will say अरे ये तो सबको आता है but then also real needs are we able to find out आता है फिर भी क्यों नहीं होता कहीं ना कहीं कुछ छूट जाता है तो
Hmm.
let us relook into this be honest to the process then technology कंप्यूटर का इस्तेमाल
Hmm.
पावर पॉइंट बनाना एक्सेल डाटा कलेक्ट करना पर डाटा एनालिसिस करना उसको थोड़ा ट्रायंगुलेट करना इवन मैं तो कहूँ मैं तो मेरी टीम को अपने ही डाटा कलेक्ट किए हुए पे मैं खुद एनालाइज करके उनको बोलता हूँ सी दिस इज अ प्राउड मोमेंट फॉर यू यू हैव डन दिस मच ऑफ वर्क लेट हिम टेक प्राउड वो खुद दूसरे दिन तीसरे दिन कुछ एरर करके ले आएगा फिर एक महीने बाद वो करेक्ट करके ले आएगा कि सर दिस वाज द असाइनमेंट मैंने अभी भी ये एनालाइज किया है सही है क्या then nowadays AI is also there. And
Hmm.
let me put this point AI can design your program, it can't implement your program. So our profession is very unique.
Yeah.
It can give you with a proper prompt, it can give you good proposal, budget planning, concept, everything, but it can't implement your program. You
Hmm.
can't replace your operational things.
True.
For that, you need your minds. So your ground is your mind.
Hmm.
Develop them टेक्नोलॉजी थोड़ा आए उनको टैबलेट यूज करना है, लैपटॉप यूज करना है, डेस्कटॉप यूज करना है, थोड़ा फंक्शनल, जैसे महाराष्ट्र में काम कर रहे हो तो मराठी टाइपिंग, हिंदी टाइपिंग, इंग्लिश टाइपिंग, थोड़ा उनका मीन, शायद मैं कुछ चीजें नहीं कह पाऊंगा पर मैं एक चीज जरूर बताऊंगा कंसेप्चुअल, कि डिसाइड कि आपके एक्सपेक्टेशन और उसके काम में
हम्म।
जो गैप है वो ट्रेनिंग का नीड है।
करेक्ट, परफेक्ट।
ये फंडा है। मैं टॉपिक
हम्म।
दूंगा, शायद दो चार पांच टॉपिक में अटक जाऊंगा, पर अगर
हम्म।
सेल्फ इवेल्युएशन करना है तो
हम्म।
ये फंडा मुझे लग रहा है कि विच आई एडप्ट, कि मैं मेरी टीम को, मैं मेरी एक्सपेक्टेशन मतलब, मेरी एक्सपेक्टेशन मतलब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की एक्सपेक्टेशन
हम्म।
है।
हम्म।
सो व्हाट आर एक्सपेक्टेशन आउट ऑफ दैट रोल, एंड बिलीव मी, हर कोई जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन बना के सबको हायर करता है, तो यू नो द एक्सपेक्टेशन लेवल।
करेक्ट।
ऐसा भी नहीं कि बहुत बढ़ा के करना चाहिए। Based on your job description, these are the expectation. During interview, probably he may perform well, but during practice, he may lagging behind for some of the other, expectation support. I tell my team, if you succeed, it's your success. If you fail, it's my failure. Give
True.
wings to them.
हम्म।
Give wings to them. If you give wings, believe me, they will fly. And let them fly. If they fly, collectively, we also fly. I will
That's
not
true.
go and tell my Moringa women, 258 women, they don't know me by face. They know me by name only. They know my team member only. They believe in him. They
हम्म।
believe in his words. So he is the ambassador of my organization.
करेक्ट।
So if I give him enough potential to work with them, whichever points are not there in his forte, train. Another thing, human habits. Don't find out the faults, find out the strengths.
हम्म।
Let the person realize the fault, he will improve or she will improve. And there are ways to tell. You have done fantastic job on this, but I expect this also needs to come under fantastic bracket. He will improve or she will improve. Appreciation. Appreciation. Because जो भी ग्राउंड पे होते हैं, मैनेजरियल लेवल से उनका सैलरी कम होता है। क्या वो खाना नहीं खाते? क्या घर में नहीं रहते? उनकी जरूरतें नहीं है? बेसिक जरूरतें तो है। तो उनके लिए मोड ऑफ एप्रिसिएशन क्या है? वर्क सेटिस्फेक्शन।
करेक्ट।
तो वर्क सेटिस्फेक्शन कैसे आएगा? थ्रू
हम्म।
वर्क एंड थ्रू सपोर्ट ऑफ योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड योर मैनेजर। जनरली लोग कंपनी नहीं बदलते, अपना मैनेजर बदलते हैं,
हम्म।
राइट? और मैनेजर बदलने का रीजन भी कुछ ऐसे ही सिमिलर होते हैं, कि अरे यार ये नहीं हो रहा, वो नहीं हो रहा, ऐसे नहीं हो रहा है, वैसे नहीं हो रहा है, सिमिलर थिंग्स। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि उस पे अगर थोड़ा फोकस होगा ना, तो मुझे लग रहा है एम्प्लॉय सेटिस्फेक्शन, और आजकल तो वो एक सर्टिफिकेट निकला है ना, गुड प्लेस टू वर्क। गुड प्लेस टू वर्क भी एक अच्छा निकला है, विच इज गुड, विच
या।
इज गुड, बट टेक इन अ लिटरल वे। तो
हम्म।
अच्छा है वो भी, और अच्छा हो सकता है उसमें भी काम। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि ग्रास रूट ट्रेनिंग में ये पॉइंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, कि आपकी एक्सपेक्टेशन और उसके परफॉर्मेंस के बीच का जो गैप है, बस
हम्म।
वो फील करो, तो भी काफी चीजें हो जाएगी। और मैनेजर्स को भी अच्छा है ना, उसको भी एक प्लेटफॉर्म मिलेगा ट्रेन करना।
True. But what about the funding for capacity building?
How much funding you require to build capacity of your own team?
That I would like
Let
to
us
know.
let us
Yeah.
contextualize it.
Yeah.
For corporates, you have freedom of 5% of your admin cost
Hmm.
on your CSR fund. One
Hmm.
thing. If it is exhausted, then also employees are asset to your organization. Hmm. And if your employees are working with you, spend some money from your company budget also,
Hmm.
right? And the topics which I told are not so big jargons. It's grassroots things, which is not so costly, right? So for corporates, planning and concern, these two things will make things happen. But for NGOs are saying कि हमारे पास कहाँ से बजट आएगा, हम तो प्रोजेक्ट बजट लेते हैं और प्रोजेक्ट बजट से ही काम हो जाता है।
Hmm.
with a 6 years of academic experience and 19 plus years of professional experience, ऐसा कभी नहीं होता है. Anybody can challenge this. अगर ऐसा होता है तो एसेट्स कहाँ से बनती है,
Hmm.
लग्जरी ऑफ ट्रीट्स और वो सब कहाँ से आता है. ऐसा नहीं होता है, कट टू कट कभी नहीं होता है. देर आर ऑलवेज स्कोप फॉर सेविंग्स.
Hmm.
सेकेंड, मैनेजमेंट कॉस्ट भी तो मिलता है. एंड ऑलवेज मैनेजमेंट कॉस्ट सिर्फ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन चलाने के लिए नहीं, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन डेवलप करने के लिए भी लगाना होता है. एंड
Hmm.
एम्प्लॉइज आर एसेट टू योर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन.
Yeah.
आज आप बड़े कॉर्पोरेट्स के किसी भी कॉर्पोरेट्स के ड्यू डिलीजेंस देख लो आप,
Hmm.
वो दो तीन चीजें कॉमन पूछते हैं. एक तो ऑब्वियसली फॉर्मल क्रेडेंशियल्स तो होते ही है, उसके साथ साथ विच ऑल आर योर एग्जिस्टिंग प्रोजेक्ट्स एंड
Projects and
फंडर्स.
funders.
सेकेंड, योर एक्सपर्टाइज. एंड थर्ड, योर बेंच स्ट्रेंथ. अभी बेंच स्ट्रेंथ मीन्स व्हाट, योर एम्प्लॉइज,
Yeah.
राइट. आज मुझे किसी एनजीओ को प्रोजेक्ट देना है तो मैं क्या देखूंगा कि भाई आपकी एक्सपर्टाइज क्या है. एंड एक्सपर्टाइज इज हु, योर एम्प्लॉइज.
Hmm.
सो आई अर्ज ऑन दिस फोरम कि भाई अपनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का फ्यूचर अच्छा करने के लिए इन्वेस्ट करो, अपने एम्प्लॉइज को बेसिक ट्रेनिंग दो एंड मेक देम एम्बेसडर्स. कि सी, ही हैज स्टार्टेड फ्रॉम एक्स पॉइंट, नाउ ही इज ऑन वाई पॉइंट. तो पैसा सब कुछ नहीं है.
Hmm.
Let me tell you, money is not everything, but we focus only on money. That's the actual point. मेरे घर को चलाने के लिए मुझे जो ग्रोसरीज चाहिए वो कोई और तो देके नहीं जाएगा, तो मेरे एम्प्लॉय को ट्रेन करने के लिए मुझे ही सोचना पड़ेगा. इट्स अ बोल्ड बट ट्रू स्टेटमेंट.
Hmm.
And I'm telling you, like Dasra and all organizations, they give money for training also. If you are going for big projects with big corporates, with your goodwill and your terms, they also give you some liberty of money for developing your team, right? So think on that line, think on that perspective. But money is not everything. Again, money can give you resources, but the niyat and thought process. हर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को गोल भी होते हैं कि हमको आगे
Hmm.
जाने में क्या करना है. सी द
Hmm.
एनुअल रिपोर्ट्स ऑफ एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. Nobody will give credits to other corporate. I'm telling you, everybody will say हमने ये काम किया and people have supported us. This is the major write up you'll find in all the reports, annual reports, especially of corporates. हम
Hmm.
ये काम करते हैं, हम ये काम करते हैं. My guru, who is now no more now, used to say, I should be small always. But if you write in English, if you press I and press space, it makes automatically capital.
Hmm.
If you see any write up of my guru, he writes I small. बोले I हमेशा छोटा होना चाहिए. Then and then things will happen
True.
like that. तो ट्रेनिंग के लिए मैं कहूँगा मच रिक्वायर्ड, मस्ट रिक्वायर्ड, बट it is all about our approach.
Hmm. And how do you optimally utilize the existing resources is also one
Yeah,
should look
very
at.
important, very
Hmm.
important. Yes, very important. Because project खत्म, फाइल खत्म नहीं होना
Hmm.
चाहिए. वो इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं है, इट्स अ डेड इन्वेस्टमेंट.
Yeah.
इट्स अ, मैं तो स्पेंड भी नहीं कहूंगा, इट्स एन एक्सपेंसिस.
Hmm.
So from this forum, I would really, want to share that let us create a healthy forum where such discussions can happen. नो फंडिंग कि भाई मुझे काम दे दो, मुझे प्रोजेक्ट दे दो, नो. बट अ थियरी लेवल डिस्कशन, a core fundamental discussion should happen. What is ESG? How it can be optimized to achieve ESG? What all stepping stones? Then, if project, then how to drive the project?
Hmm.
Benchmark करना है तो how to do the benchmark? Learn from others, collaborations, government support. All such things are very important. So that's what is my thought on sustainability and training, because it complements everything.
Yeah.
This is like an umbrella. If
Correct.
one of your portion of umbrella is not good, entire umbrella looks very shabby. This is like that.
True. Great. We will now deep dive into the questions that we have gotten from the community. When we
Yes.
posted that you will be our guest, I have gotten quite a few DMs on my LinkedIn and also on WhatsApp saying I have these questions. And so we have picked up top three questions, which will kind of complement to our discussion that we had so far. So Nisha has this question where she's saying, what are all the, so she wants to know more about what CMS Foundation is supporting and the work of CMS Foundation. So, what are all the thematic focus of CMS Foundation currently?
Yeah. So, Nisha, thank you for posting this question. CMS Foundation is working in four core areas, complemented by one more core area, which is dream driven program. I'll come to
Mm-hmm.
that. We work for majorly livelihood support program where youth skill development and women empowerment, these are the two sub core areas we adopt. Second is climate resilient program where we earlier used to do plantation, then we course corrected,
Mm-hmm.
we minimize forestry plantation and optimize to horticulture plantation. So
Okay.
it complements to livelihood program also and climate resilient program also. Water conservation, then soil conservation and waste management in climate
Mm-hmm.
resilient program. Third one is healthcare program where preventive care, curative care with secondary support at because if you run mobile health van, person is coming and taking medicine, will it serve the purpose? No. So wherever we run mobile health van, we do formal tie-ups with peripheral hospitals for referral on a discounted rates or on a charitable rates. So initial diagnosis will happen at mobile health van, followed by secondary care at particular specialized hospitals. Then and then it makes sense to the entire project. Preventive healthcare is mother and child healthcare program where menstrual hygiene, adolescent girls, and nutrition are the three components that we work upon. And education programs where we exclusively work on STEM education.
Mm-hmm.
If I verbalize STEM, people will think Atal Tinker Lab, STEM mobile van, and STEM labs. No, none of these are, we are not doing anything. We
Okay.
are like a Gurukul sort of a philosophy adopted by our company where human touch is very important.
Mm-hmm.
So doing with yourself, in terms we say DIY. Second, choice based learning. Third, science around me. And fourth, activity based science and maths with 2.0 approach that we do. So 2.0 is what? Robotics, coding, and data analytics are part and parcel of our all experiments.
Okay.
So irrespective of any mathematics, some data, some analytics will be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Robotics are benchmark because that is 2.0. So we are
Mm-hmm.
picking out concept from syllabus of the book and converting it into activity based learning. Our facilitators are engaged, trained people are engaged, and they visit and take sessions on this.
Mm-hmm.
And it is not just an exposure, it is a regular session,
Mm-hmm.
along with class teacher. So we complement the regular education, as I said earlier. We don't educate, we complement.
Compliment.
So in a way, teacher will also get an exposure of such activities, and in 2 or 3 years, teacher will also adapt the same practice. So when we
Mm-hmm.
exit, the things will not collapse. Things will happen by a regular teacher.
Yeah.
So that
The
is
teachers are
education.
already trained.
Yes, that is our fourth core area, education. And fifth one is government schemes convergence.
Okay.
There are n number of government schemes, but people may have some difficulties in documentation. People have some hesitation. People don't have understanding ki which are the eligibility of my family or myself where I
Mm-hmm.
can approach for government schemes. So we work with local communities. CMSs CMS is working in Narmada district of Gujarat, where entire district we have covered since now 14 months, and more than 70,000 people we have connected with government schemes. Firozpur in Punjab we work, where more than 60,000 people we have connected. Mumbai and all other programs are by default added with government schemes convergence. For example, if we are working with women on particular training, or we are working with youth, or we are
Hmm.
working with farmers, relevant schemes are by default in process for convergence. So till date, more than 7 crores direct benefits are availed by various stakeholders, and more than 70,000 people are connected with proper documentation with entitlement schemes. So we work for two types of schemes.
Hmm.
Entitlement schemes. Let me spell out which are the entitlement schemes, like e-Shram, domestic ID, then Ayushman card, then lot of state specific cards, and PMSBY, PMJJBY. These all are entitlements. If you
Hmm.
need, you can avail. Direct benefit schemes. We know all the agriculture related schemes, institutional schemes, pension schemes, and all these things, widow pension and all are direct benefit schemes. So this is how we work. Three core areas we have adopted. One is livelihood,
Hmm.
second is insurance, and third is pension. So geriatric care, accidental things and deaths on the unfortunate event, and livelihood. Because if you have money, you can work. If you have money, you can spend. So that's how we believe, and we adopted these three sub areas for convergence of schemes. And we are learning also, and we are practicing also. So this is how these four main core areas and government schemes as a topping up on four core areas CMS Foundation is working. Just now we are into 19 states of India, and majorly our investments are in aspirational districts and block. For more projects, I request audience to go on CMS Infosystems website and download last year's annual report. You'll get all insightful details of our goal oriented projects into that.
Thank you. Another question, which is from Anurag, he says, do you implement the projects that you've mentioned just now by yourself, as in you have in-house team, or do you also partner with NGOs or implementation partners to kind of work on the ground?
Yeah, we have both the medium of
Okay.
implementing CSR. CMS Infosystems has CMS Foundation also.
Hmm.
So few projects we implement directly. Like I told that our Moringa
Hmm.
project in
Hmm.
Pune, we implement directly.
Okay.
Then few of other Madhya Pradesh program and Mumbai programs we implement directly. But with a scale of 19 states,
Hmm.
we partner with potential organizations also, because we believe that collaboration is very important,
Hmm. True.
and expert resources are everywhere. You'll have to find out.
Hmm.
So 4 5 programs we are implementing with our own self, but rest programs we have collaborated with NGOs and local organizations along with NABARD and government departments also.
Yeah, I
So
think that makes
collaboration in that
sense.
sense. Yes,
Because if you want to grow and scale, you need to have partners so that you
absolutely.
can, you know,
Yes,
have a longer uh,
yes.
interventions. Another
So we
last
have,
question. Yeah, sorry.
yeah. So we have both the approaches for Anurag. So Anurag's
Hmm.
answer.
Last question, which is from Rupali. She is asking if you were to hire someone for a CSR role in your team, what are the skills that you would see in that person, or what are your expectation if anyone wants to join CSR? What should they
Very
have?
valid question. Very valid question. Very valid question, because yeah, coming to the point. 4 5 basic skills
Mm-hmm.
Interpersonal skills first.
Mm.
Communication. The
Okay.
person should be vocal enough.
Mm.
Being vocal is very important in our field.
Vocal as in?
You have to express your thing yourself.
Mm.
If you don't express your thing, your thoughts and knowledge, you are not for this field.
Ha, understood.
So being vocal is very important.
Hmm.
Second is techno savvy,
Hmm.
because world is growing very fast.
Hmm.
So to match your process with the world, you'll have to have techno savvy. I'm not saying that use AI every time, no, but use AI sometimes.
Hmm.
Use government portals, other CSR works. Keep watch on it. Learn from that. Upgrade yourself. So technology will help you to do this. So techno
Hmm.
savvy. And third is passion.
Hmm.
If you are passionate, then and then this is the good space for you. Every morning, if you are waking up and asking yourself that yes, today is an exciting day, I will do something which is contributing to the society, to the organization, to myself. And every day night, if you are satisfied with three questions which you asked yourself in morning, you're right on right path. So passion. This is all about interpersonal skills. So professionally, two things I would say. One is how you contextualize the concepts, because you
Hmm.
are working with stakeholder.
Hmm.
So whether you are thinking from heart or mind is very
Hmm.
important. I tell
Correct.
my team that keep your beneficiary in your heart and keep your NGO in your mind.
Hmm.
So that skill of differentiating heart and mind. And
Hmm.
second is very important, your openness to learn,
Hmm.
because the name itself is a developmental sector.
Correct.
So it is developing. So if you're open to learn, you're in for the position.
Hmm.
We never see that how many years of experience you have, how many successful projects you have done. Yes, are important, but not immediately. Every inning starts with zero. So we believe in these core values, and if you have these 5 6 core values, you're on for any corporates. I'm telling you, not only for me, for any corporates. But please note, subsequent questions may come. How much budget you have handled, how much team you have handled, then if in a stress situation, how will you deal it? These all which are your core expertise, relevant experience, which are big corporates you worked with, reference check, all these things will come. But these 5 6 things are mandatory into entire process.
Correct. Perfect. So I work with a lot of NGOs because I'm a fundraising consultant. I help them in raising funds, designing their strategy, also work with corporates in finding their implementation partners for them. But at times when the questions that I get from NGOs or from CSR side is which is also very diplomatic to answer or very conflicting, where they say that how do we keep a balance between a CSR and an NGO involvement in any of the project? Because at times
Very important.
NGOs, है ना?
Very
Because
important and very clashy also.
yes, exactly. Because NGOs बोलते हैं कि हमें पता है this is our core area, this is our expertise, but then we would need certain set of freedom to implement it, and
Exactly.
this then we need a trust from corporate, and corporate say no, this is a tested model and we know this is how it is done. So how do we keep a balance between this?
कि जितना डिस्कशन, जितना डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन और जितना कंटेक्चुअल मैच करने की जरूरत है, वो प्रपोजल तक हो जाना चाहिए.
Exactly, right. Then and there you
उसके
should
बाद
decide if it is aligning or no.
यस,
If no, then
यस,
it's better to part ways rather than, because at the end of the day, community gets support.
और उसके बाद एनजीओ एक्सपर्ट है, आपने उनको उनकी एक्सपर्टाइज पे ही हायर किया है ना, देन वाई टू
Mhm.
डाउट.
Correct.
तो कॉरपोरेट को वहां अपने आप को एक स्पेस में बंद कर लेना चाहिए. कैसे?
Hmm.
कि what are the parameters of monitoring,
Hmm.
frequency of monitoring. For example, हम लोग as a project, what we decided that we will visit project once in a tenure,
Hmm.
and tenure is maximum 12 months. Every year
Okay.
we renew the MOU, whether is a
Hmm.
project of 3 years or 5 years. Every year MOU will get renewed,
Hmm.
but once in a tenure project visit will happen.
Hmm.
So NGO is clear.
Hmm.
Now corporate has to understand, if I am visiting once in a tenure, then what can be the good time.
Hmm.
मुझे सिर्फ फीता काटने जाना है, मुझे स्टेक होल्डर को इनिशियली मिलना है, ड्यूरिंग द प्रोसेस मिलना है, कि जब कुछ हार्वेस्ट करने लायक, जैसे ट्रेनिंग है तो अगर उन्होंने सीखा है तो कुछ देखने लायक चीजें बने, कि जहां मैं देखूं कि हमने जिस चीज के लिए पैसा इन्वेस्ट किया है, इज
Hmm.
इट ऑन अ राइट ट्रैक और नॉट. मुझे
Hmm.
कहाँ जाना है कॉर्पोरेट को तय करना है, एंड दिस
Hmm.
शुड बी अक्रॉस द टेबल विद द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, कि
Correct.
भाई दिस टाइम वी वुड लाइक टू सी. कुछ कॉर्पोरेट्स के विजिटर्स भी होते हैं,
Hmm.
सब्सिक्वेंट एक्सटर्नल स्टेक होल्डर भी होते हैं, वो फिर सोशल इम्पैक्ट होता है, एनजीओ का ऑडिट होता है, वो सब होता है. पर वो प्लानिंग के दौरान सब तय कर लेना चाहिए,
Hmm.
कि भाई कब क्या और कैसे. उससे
Hmm.
क्या होगा, एनजीओ को भी समझ आएगा कि उनका किस प्रकार से पार्टनरशिप है, किस प्रकार से कॉरपोरेट के साथ क्या क्या एक्सपेक्टेशंस लेवल है, और किस तरह से उनको रिपोर्ट, डाटा, केस स्टडीज, टेस्टिमोनियल्स, क्वार्टरली रिपोर्ट, बाई एनुअल रिपोर्ट, विजिट, सब कुछ फैसिलिटेट करना है और तैयार करना है. तो मुझे लग रहा है प्लानिंग के दौरान जब आप एमओयू साइन करते हो तब ये फिक्स हो जाता है. 10% अप एंड डाउन, वो ज्यादा हेल्दी रिलेशन होते हैं.
Hmm.
सेकेंड, ट्रांसपेरेंसी. क्योंकि एनुअल प्रोग्राम अगर हमने साइन किया है तो क्वार्टरली बजट रिलीज होगा, फिर क्वार्टरली
Hmm.
यूटिलाइजेशन जाएगा, फिर आपका सेकेंड क्वार्टर का होगा. तो एनजीओ के लिए भी इंपॉर्टेंट है कि हम माइक्रो प्लानिंग भी वैसे करें कि जहां आप ट्रांसपेरेंसी एटमोस्ट रख सके.
Hmm.
क्योंकि आपका एंट्री ट्रस्ट के ऊपर हुआ है, बट यू हैव
Hmm.
टू सस्टेन द ट्रस्ट ऑल्सो.
Correct.
तो ट्रस्ट सस्टेन कहाँ होगा,
Hmm.
जहां पे आप कॉर्पोरेट ने जो पैसा दिया है उसका सही यूटिलाइजेशन, कॉर्पोरेट ने जो टास्क और जो काम के लिए पैसा दिया है उसका सही प्रोग्रेस,
Hmm.
विथ एक्सपेक्टेड नॉर्म्स, कि भाई फोटो वाला रिपोर्ट चाहिए, डाटा चाहिए, हर एक की रिक्वायरमेंट अलग अलग होती है.
Hmm.
प्लीज स्पेल आउट एट इनिशियल लेवल.
Hmm.
तो रिलेशन हेल्दी रहेगा,
Hmm.
हर एक को अपना रोल क्लियर होगा, हर एक अपने स्पेस पे काम कर पाएगा, और
Hmm.
डिलीवरेबल्स अच्छा आके कम्युनिटी को बेनिफिट जो होना है वो सही में हो पाएगा.
Hmm.
एंड बिलीव मी, अगर ये क्लैरिटी के साथ काम होगा ना,
हाँ.
तो एनजीओ 110% परफॉर्मेंस भी देगा.
Hmm.
प्रेशर नहीं है ना,
Hmm.
प्रेशर नहीं होगा. उनको पता है क्या ब्रैकेट है और किस तरह करना है.
Hmm.
और अदर वे, अगर ये क्लैरिटी के साथ काम किया और एनजीओ ठीक से नहीं भी कर रहा है ना काम, तो कॉर्पोरेट को आइडेंटिफाई करना भी आसान है,
Hmm.
पता चल ही जाता है. डॉक्यूमेंट,
True.
डाटा, स्टेक होल्डर के एंगेज, उससे पता चल ही जाता है. पर वो क्लैरिटी के साथ होगा ना, तो विन विन सिचुएशन होगा, क्लैश नहीं होगा.
Hmm.
एमओयू में क्लॉज होता है ना, कि आइदर साइड 1 मंथ और 3 मंथ्स नोटिस, और उसके नीचे होता है कि भाई लीगल डिस्प्यूट जो भी है वो XYZ जगह पे हैंडल किए जाएंगे,
Hmm.
उसकी नौबत ही नहीं आएगी.
Hmm. True.
तो क्लैरिटी ऑफ रोल्स,
Hmm.
टाइमली क्लैरिटी ऑफ रोल्स, एंड ट्रांसपेरेंसी,
Hmm.
ये तीन चीजें ना बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट है इसमें सस्टेन करने
Hmm.
के लिए.
True. And I think I'll also add कि collaboration हम कैसे कर सकते हैं in terms of complementing each other.
एग्जैक्टली.
Like corporate could help us in maybe technology related something, or maybe they can guide us on something if that is not working. I think the collaboration between a funder and the implementer should be like friends. Somebody we can, go and maybe suggest, and it should be open where, so tomorrow I
एग्जैक्टली.
can come up to you saying, sir, this is something that we've planned but it is not working out, do you have anything? Because you also come
या
from certain set of experiences, you have worked with so many organizations. Maybe, you will be able to suggest कि हाँ हमने इस प्रोजेक्ट में ये किया था और उसमें ये वर्कआउट कर लिया था, maybe you could try and do that, right? And maybe similarly on the other end where NGOs could also से कि इस कम्युनिटी में ये ना स्ट्रैटेजी ये चलती है ऐसे, यू मेक श्योर दैट द कम्युनिटी इज आल्सो इन्वॉल्वड, एंड देन सिमिलरली कॉर्पोरेट कुड implement those strategies.
True.
परफेक्ट आई थिंक कोलैबोरेशन का हमें डेफिनेशन और जो उसका एग्जैक्ट मीनिंग है वो हमें इम्प्लीमेंट करना बहुत जरूरी है बिकॉज इट्स ऑल अबाउट कोलैबोरेशन पार्टनरशिप्स दैट social sector is running on. It's not only in competition is something that I
True.
feel.
Absolutely. And see, ultimately, we are working for whom?
Exactly. We
That
started
itself
with that. It's
gives
for
you that
the
insight. Yes.
upliftment of the community, uplift for the nation, and how do we increase that GDP for our country is important.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so here we come to the end of our
Yeah.
podcast today. It was amazing. We had such a lovely discussion, so many insightful conversations we had. I'm sure our listeners would be learning a lot and they'll be constantly writing, like I was making notes while you were suggesting. Any parting words from you, any suggestion, or any points that we have missed, but you would still want to tell to our audience?
Yeah. Not point, but approach.
Mm,
See, if you listen entire episode, you will feel that it's very grassroots,
mm,
thought process and things.
mm,
I would say yes, it is. But if you will be grassroots, then and then your strategy will build up.
mm.
I would say if your foundation is strong, then and then your building will looks like. Foundation will not be visible from outside. Your building will be visible. But to build strong building, you need to have strong foundation.
Correct.
So use technology, use advancement, use hybrid models, use a lot of innovations, academic, IITs, IIMs, lot of research paper and all these things. But
Mm,
your center should be your beneficiaries.
I know.
And
True.
one thing. Second thing, it is not an expense. It is investment.
Mm,
If we change our outlook from expense to investment, definitely our thought process will change and you will think in a way where goals will come into picture.
mm,
So the second is investment, third is goal, and fourth is real contribution, not only numbers. Real contribution is very important. So
true.
these four things I would like to summarize here, and this is a very innovative thought that you have come up with in this sector. I think I know few of the people, I will not name here, who started these forums and all. Now Bhagyashree is one of the person who started the podcast. Probably this time we are talking one on one.
Yeah.
Probably you will benchmark somewhere, your process benchmarking will happen, and some groups will come which will
Yeah.
save time, which will save energy, and will have a group podcast also.
Yes.
Subsequently, a lot of
Absolutely.
learning based approach will come, and this is how our field will also strengthen. Our
True.
sector will get strengthened, and our sector will get formal recognition on that.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for acknowledging that and appreciation, as you mentioned. It's very
Yeah.
important. Because at these what I feel is at these all these panel discussion, it's one time thing. If I didn't go, I might have missed on all the conversation that happens. But when we capture it, given the world of internet, when we capture it online and we put it up on Spotify and YouTube, it is there, and
Yes.
it's so much into deeper discussion because panel discussion में आपका इतने सारे panels होते हैं and then there is so much to learn from them, but still there are very dedicated questions. So there is some restriction that I felt, so I thought ki this is something that we should be doing. And apart from that, we also host social impact meetups across states. So I'm planning to do at least one in every state so that we could, as you said,
Yeah.
we could build a community of people coming together who are the real change makers, who come up with suggestions ki Bhagyashree, we could do this, and then at whole we could create something change, create some change which is replicable and sustainable. So that's the idea. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Again, it was a pleasure to host you,
Yeah.
sir, for being so kind, humble, and sharing all the insights from whatever you have gathered through your experience. It was again a huge pleasure to host you. With
Yeah.
that, we will end our podcast today. Thank you so much
Thank you.
again.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.